A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Thursday, January 25th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. The four Democratic Orange County legislators who last fall accused the county of granting a no-bid contract for information technology services to Star CIO are being challenged by an attorney for the company. The lawmakers maintain the contract that over the course of a year went from $64,000 to over $800,000 was illegal. Now the legislators have been hit with a cease and desist order from Star CIO's attorney. Civil rights attorney Michael Sussman says he's going to assist them fight their case.
We have laws against those kinds of threats. They're called anti-SLAPP laws that the New York State legislature passed in the last half-decade, which are intended to stop individuals from using the courts to try to silence legitimate speech acts, which is what you have here. So, yeah, I'll do whatever I need to do to protect individuals who are public servants, who are doing what they're supposed to be doing and raising critical public issues.
Sussman says the Republican Party has had control of the county for years, including who he called the political kingpin, Langdon Chapman, whose brother-in-law owns Star CIO. As billing issues continue to plague Central Hudson Gas and Electric, the utility announced it will hold the first of two customer open houses this year in its Kingston office on Thursday, February 15th, and at its Newburgh office on Wednesday, March 6th. The sessions will be by appointment only, and customers will be provided a time slot to meet with a customer service rep who will walk each customer through their account in a one-on-one setting to address any questions or concerns. Rebuilding trust in our communities will take time, and it will happen one customer at a time, said Central Hudson Senior Vice President of Customer Services Anthony Campangiorni. The company says that since December 2022, it has worked to increase its overall accessibility to communities it serves by inviting more than 100,000 customers to 10 different open house-style events throughout the service area, including two previous events in Kingston and Newburgh. Congressman Pat Ryan was the keynote speaker at Wednesday's Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce breakfast. He was to address issues pertaining to the business community, but his remarks were abruptly interrupted as a dozen people stood up holding signs and demanding that he support an immediate ceasefire of the fighting in Gaza. Ryan has maintained Israel has the right to defend itself following the October 7th Hamas attack that murdered over 1,000 civilians. Maurice Schneider, a Kingston native, was at the breakfast. His sister, Margaret Silverman, and his brother-in-law, Yossi Silverman, were killed on October 7th. Maurice's niece, Sherry, her husband, Yarden, and their children, Kafir and Ariel Bibas, are still believed to be among the hostages. Maurice spoke up on behalf of Israel during the protest, noting that Hamas killed his family. Since Israel began its attacks on Gaza to root out the terrorists, over 20,000 people have been reported killed, leading groups calling for him to support the ceasefire. The state has allocated funds to reduce the negative impacts of invasive species to New York's natural resources, economy, and communities. The money comes from the State Department of Environmental Conservation, which provides funds for aquatic and terrestrial invasive species spread prevention, early detection and rapid response, lake management planning, research and education, and outreach. The Catskill Center for Conservation and Development will receive $29,000 for invasive species education and outreach. Bard College will receive $80,000 for invasive species early education, rapid response, and control terrestrial and aquatic species. Mohonk Preserve will receive $90,000 for similar purposes. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
State police have arrested a woman and charged her with unauthorized practice of a profession, grand larceny, and offering a false instrument for filing. Police say 41-year-old Tara Muller from Milford, Pennsylvania, represented herself as an employee of a law firm in the Hudson Valley while collecting retainer fees from potential clients. According to LinkedIn, Muller is a veteran legal assistant and has worked for several well-known law firms. Police are asking anyone who may have had contact with Tara Muller as she represented herself with any of the offices in the law practice to contact them. 4 federally funded projects worth $725,000 have been completed in Orange County through the Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Program. The projects paid for by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development are in the towns of Woodbury, Chester, and the villages of Walden and Chester. The village of Chester received $375,000 to improve its infiltration and inflow to sanitary sewer mains. Sugarloaf Performing Arts Center received $125,000 for ADA improvements. The village of Walden received $100,000 for sanitary sewer, smoke testing, and lining. The town of Woodbury received $125,000 for ADA improvements to the town library and senior center. Even though 3 incumbent Monticello Village board members have had their petitions to appear on the March ballot for re-election tossed, the 3, including Mayor George Nicolatos, still have an opportunity to run. The Democratic Party petitions for mayor and trustees Michael Banks and Carmen Rue were ruled invalid by the Sullivan County Board of Elections, but they can run as independents providing they file new petitions with a minimum of 75 signatures between February 6th and 13th, Village Clerk Janine Gandy says. Trustee Rochelle Massey has also filed petitions to run for mayor on the Democratic line, and if Nicolatos secures an independent line, the two will face off in the March 19th election. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.